Hello, everybody. All right, welcome to the Mikestand. Today, of course, is Friday, May the 1st, 2026. So that means, of course, we are a third of the way through the year, through 4 full months. We're starting our fifth month here of 2026. So if you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people to engage, that'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. We wait for people to show up. Also, I do need to step away from the computer for a moment, so I'll be right back. But I will put some music on while I'm gone. When I come back, we'll talk about what's on tap for tonight. So, anyway, I'll do that now. All right, I'm back now. So, I guess it must have somehow came back up there. But anyways, so now with all that being done and said, we're actually at the 4 minute mark now. So I guess I should talk about what's on tap for tonight. So tonight got a couple articles from MeTV Tunes. First off, look back a little bit at, of course, the voice acting career of Mark Hamill, who now, granted, I thought he just got real big in the '90s and aughts, but apparently he'd been doing voice work for even before he landed the role of Luke Skywalker. So we'll of course take a look at that. We'll also look over some of the many jobs that Yosemite Sam has had over the years. Kind of a reprisal of that article, I believe. And then, of course, we'll get all caught up in all the latest in terms of the world of professional wrestling. Look back, of course, to last night's Impact and Ring of Honor. Look ahead to tonight's SmackDown, as we're a little over a week away from Backlash. So there'll probably be further developments tonight, as well as looking ahead to tomorrow night's Collision. And aside from that, we'll wrap things up with this day in each history. So, again, a friendly reminder before we get started here on the articles. If you haven't already, you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream. See if we can get some more friendly people to engage. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. With that being said, let's actually get right into our first article here as soon as I pull that up. All right, so with that being said, here we go. 6 of Mark Hamill's classic cartoon characters. The voice is strong with this one. Article published April 30th, 2026 by MeTV staff. So there he is right there, I guess from his younger days. You may know him as Luke Skywalker. But did you know that beyond that before he played a Jedi, Mark Hamill was a cartoon voice actor. Actually, I didn't. I myself did not know he was one before. I definitely knew he was one after, but not before that. So, alongside his major success as a film actor, Hamill has always worked in cartoons as a voice actor in over 100 productions. One of Hamill's first jobs in Hollywood was voice acting at Hanna-Barbera Studios, where he got to meet and learn from some of the greats like Don Messick, Daws Butler, and Mel Blanc. In all, in an interview with Rotten Tomatoes, he said meeting them made him realize that, quote, to see who all those wonderful voice actors were, something I aspired to be a cartoon voice-over actor. Let's take a look at some of his classic animation roles that you may be able to watch on MeTV Tunes. Oh, here we go with this one. The new Scooby-Doo movies, 1972. Hamill's first voice acting gig was additional voices on the new Scooby-Doo movies, new Scooby-Doo mysteries. Mysteries, or I guess movies, I think, but they. He eventually played an unseen sports announcer, and one of the characters in this image, a windmaker, quote unquote, from the episode "The Weird Winds of Winona." Number 2, Genie, 1973. Voicing Genie's master, Hamill voiced Corianders, the teenager who stumbles upon Genie's bottle. And of course, we also saw him guest appear again. That was another guest appearance on Scooby-Doo as well, when they started crossing characters over from other shows. Number 3, Two Stupid Dogs, 1993. Two Stupid Dogs has a pretty star-studded voice cast, including Brad Garrett. Oh wow, I didn't know Brad Garrett was in Two Stupid Dogs, but then again, I've never watched Two Stupid Dogs. But I do know Brad Garrett was Triptychon in Transformers. Generation 1. Jim Cummings, known for a lot of his work for Disney, including Winnie the Pooh, as well as being Shocker in Spider-Man the animated, Shocker for Spider-Man animated series. He was also Afterburner in Afterburner in Transformers G1, and he was in Gargoyles as Dingo. Tony Jay, who I believe lent his voice to Baron Mordo in Spider-Man the Animated. Rob Paulson, numerous characters, including Wacka Warner from Animaniacs, Slingshot, and Air Raid of the aerial bots in Transformers Generation 1, and Mark Hamill, of course, we're talking about here. He provided additional voices for 5 episodes. Number 4, Freakazoid, 1995. In the episode, quote, and Fanboy is his name, unquote, Mark Hamill voiced himself. He was signing autographs at a fan convention when Fanboy suddenly chased him down. Okay. Yep. And of course, in the mid 90s, he also did, of course, the Hobgoblin for Mark Hamill did the Hobgoblin for Spider-Man the Animated Series as well. Number 5, Scooby-Doo Mystery Inc. 2012. Not his first time voicing a criminal clown, but for a 2-episode special, Hamill voiced Crybaby Clown, an evil man baby terrorizing Coolsville. It's kind of funny because actually of a lot of his voice work, particularly his later voice work in the 90s and aughts, he would get cast as some kind of like psychotic clown type villain. This guy right here, albeit the Hobgoblin in Spider-Man the Animated, it wasn't quite psychotic, but he was still, I think, in Super Robot Monkey Force, Monkey Team Hyper Force. He played the arch villain there as well, where he's kind of a megalomaniacal type maniac as well. So, they're right in saying he's not first time playing a criminal clown. And then number 6, of course, probably his signature voice role that most people know him from. The Joker, stemming from 1993 to 2024, off and on over the years. Probably his longest of his voice roles, in which, in this case, he would voice opposite of the late, great Kevin Conroy, only deciding to retire from that role after Conroy's death, feeling that without Conway, it just wasn't really worth it anymore. So, anyways, while Mark Hamill did not voice the Joker on any of the shows airing on MeTV Tunes, we have to talk about how he is the longest running Joker actor of all time. His tenure as everyone's favorite criminal clown began in Batman Mask of the Phantasm. Now, I think it started even before that. Continued through Batman the Animated, because I think his appearances on Batman the Animated Series predate the movie. And led up to the most recent portrayal in Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3. Hamill has played the Joker in 30 productions over the course of 30 years. Yeah. Again, only retiring from the role after, of course, Kevin Conroy's passing. So, that's all right, and there you go. There we go. There we go with that one. So now getting ready to move on to the next story then. And of course, a friendly reminder to everybody, if you haven't already, if you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people to engage, that'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and I will try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. With that, of course, why don't we go ahead and continue on here with the next article. The many jobs of Yosemite Sam. He's a tiny little man of many talents. Article published April 30th, 2025, by me, TV Dude Sam. All right, so here we go. Yosemite Sam began his cartoon career in 1945, about 10 to 15 years later than the rest of his Looney Tunes cast members. He was developed by Fritz Frayling because Bugs Bunny needed a more formidable opponent than Elmer Fudd. Yeah, this is kind of a rehash of an article we already did. They just reposted it, but that's okay. It's still always good to go over familiar stuff. Jumping into the rodeo at the 11th hour meant Sam had a lot to prove, and he put his talents on display with his many, many jobs. His real job was being an antagonist to Bugs Bunny, but in the 33 cartoons they appeared in together, Sam's jobs put him in a lot of silly yet dangerous scenarios. Let's take a look at Sam's many careers. Number 1, Train Robber Bandit. In his cartoon debut, Hair Trigger, Yosemite Sam attempts to rob a train, specifically the mail car, where Bugs Bunny was goofing around. This attempted robbery became the first of many battles with Bugs. And I'm going to need to go off camera here for a moment. But I will be right back. But what I will do, of course, as always, I'll put some music on to entertain you guys while I'm gone. All right. Anyways, back now. So, say, All right, number 2, Starving Hermit. And along came Daffy. Yosemite Sam is a starving hermit in a remote cabin. This cartoon is one of 2 Yosemite Sam cartoons without Bugs Bunny, but it does feature Daffy Duck and Yosemite Sam's twin brother. Number 3, Pirate. Yosemite Sam trades his guns and spurs for a sword and a treasure chest in Buccaneer Bunny. He also works as a pirate in Captain Hairblower and This Is Your Life. Number 4, Cowboy, Western Outlaw. The first cartoon where Yosemite Sam is officially considered a cowboy is High Diving Hare, where Bugs Bunny brings his circus act to an old western town. This is Sam's job that he is most associated with. But he only appeared as a cowboy a few times in the golden age of animation. He also has this job in Bugs Bunny Rides Again, A Star is Born, and Wild and Woolly Hair. Number 5, Sea Captain. So he's a pirate and a sea captain, a bank train robber and a cowboy at Western Outlaw. So some of these jobs are actually somewhat similar, or at least set in the same area of things, not just history, but also just overall setting. Anyway, Sea Captain. The line between Yosemite Sam's pirate jobs and sea captain jobs is blurred at best. In Mutiny on the Bunny, he is the captain of a ship called the Sad Sack, and he tries to recruit crew members. He only recruits Bugs Bunny, who quickly takes over the ship. Yeah, I think in that one, he barely tried to Shanghai Bugs. Bugs just ended up turning the tables on him. Number 6, Soldier, and him with the Hessian hat there. Bunker Hill Bunny is a light parody of the American Revolution. Instead of British versus American forces, Bugs and Yosemite battle on the teams we versus they. Either way, Yosemite Sam is a bad guy, so naturally he's a redcoat. Yeah, a redcoat with a Hessian hat there. I think those are the types of hats that the German mercenaries who were brought in by the British were wearing. Number 7, Hunter. This time around, Yosemite Sam had been placed into Elmer Fudd's usual role of straight up hunting bugs. As a hunter, he's smarter than Elmer Fudd. In the series in the sense that he is harder to trick, but he's much more trigger happy and thoughtless in his actions. Rabbit Every Monday is the only cartoon where Sam plays hunter, which makes sense because they already have a hunter. Sam, I mean, yeah, have Sam play a hunter one time just so you can say that that's part of his resume, and then and then that's it, right? Number 8, Homeowner. This isn't exactly a job, but in The Fair-Haired Hare, Yosemite Sam is a homeowner who builds his house over Bugs' rabbit hole. Number 9, Mayoral Candidate. Yosemite Sam runs for mayor in Ballot Box Bunny. And that I believe that one came out in 1944. In fact, during the height of the World War II. And naturally, Bugs runs against him, just for laughs. Yosemite Sam's campaign offers mostly empty promises like, quote, there's enough fresh air and sunshine in this great country of ours for everybody, and I'll see to it that you'll get your share. He also uses his iteration of Theodore Roosevelt's famous quote, I speak loud and I carry a bigger stick and I use it too. Of course, what they're referring to is the term that Teddy Roosevelt was, or the quote that Teddy Roosevelt was known for saying in terms of speak softly but carry a big stick. So. Number 10, Gold Digger. In both Hair Trimmed and Honey's Money, Yosemite Sam has no job and woos old ladies with big fortunes. In Honey's Money, he succeeds in marrying her, but her large son nearly breaks Sam's back with playful horse rides. Yeah, in Honey's Money in particular, it's one of those things where the particular wife and child are probably not the most endearing characters in the world. They're not exactly a pair that would inspire anybody to want to even be around them. No less, marrying them or becoming part of their family. Number 11, Prospector. Yes, he was a literal gold digger as well as a figurative one. Yosemite Sam takes part in the Klondike Gold Rush in 14-karat gold, where he starts as a claim jumper, but then tries his hand at prospecting. Number 12, Bank Robber. Well, I thought they mentioned that. I guess they only meant train robber in the first one there. Oh, train robber bandit. That was the double word there. Train robber bandit. Okay, here's where he was a bank robber. Number 12, Bank Robber. Perhaps inspired by D.B. Cooper in Hairlift, Yosemite Sam robs a bank, drives a getaway car to the airport, hijacks a plane, in parentheses, piloted by Bugs, of course, and then parachutes away to freedom. Unfortunately for him, he ends up right in a police car. Oh, that's just too funny, right? And again, friendly reminder to everybody, if you guys haven't already, if you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people to engage. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and I will try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. So, getting back to the article, of course. Number 13, Desert Explorer. Yosemite Sam has explored the Old West, the Yukon, and the high seas. Next is the desert in Sahara Hair. Bug mistakenly tunnels to the Sahara Desert instead of Miami. Again, probably taking another wrong turn at Albuquerque. And in small quote, Riff Raff Sam, on small quote, chases him for trespassing. Number 14, Roman Legionnaire. Yosemite Sam's next job is a Roman Legionnaire in Roman Legion Hair. Specifically, he is the captain of the Praetorian Guard, serving Emperor Nero. Oh boy, that must be fun. I'm sure that was a blast. Number 15, Castaway. Surviving is the most important job of all. Yosemite Sam is a castaway in Robinson Crusoe. While he initially tries to eat bugs, together they escape the island and sail off into the sunset towards San Francisco. Number 16, Mountaineer. Yodelay, 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 yodelay. Oh yeah. Mountaineer. Now, when we say Yosemite Sam is a mountaineer, it's not because he's passionate about mountain climbing. In Piker's Peak, the mayor announces a mountain climbing race, the prize of 50,000 Cronkites, quote unquote. So it's about the money. Cronkites, named after, of course, the newsman of the era, Walter Cronkite. I would take it. Number 17, Night. Nighty Night Bugs was Yosemite Sam's only Oscar-winning performance. He is the Black Knight, protector of the Singing Sword, which is immediately stolen by Bugs Bunny. While Yosemite Sam may not be the best knight, he rides a dragon. Backwards, nonetheless. Or no, I guess not backwards. I guess it's just him turning his head around. Number 18, Grand Duke. Of course, Yosemite Sam is a Nepo baby. In From Hair to Air, he plays a Grand Duke whose uncle, parentheses the king, has cut off his allowance because of his bad temper. Sam must prove to Bugs Bunny that he can maintain his composure and not fly off the handle. Guess who wins? Bugs, of course. Number 19, Alien. Another one where, they already had a character here doing this, but I guess they just want to give him a one shot. They just kind of build up his resume, I guess. Alien. Marvin the Martian is out of a job because in Lighter Than Hair, Yosemite Sam is the alien around these parts. He sends robots to capture Bugs Bunny. Number 20, Viking. Sam the Terrible, also known as Prince Violent. Not to be confused with Prince Violet. Princess Violet. Violet. Yosemite Sam attempts to pillage a castle, and Bugs uses an elephant to fight back. Number 21, Chef. In Shishka Bugs, Yosemite Sam is a very grumpy chef to a petulant king who demands rabbit stew. Number 22, Prison Warden. Bugs Bunny accidentally tunnels into a prison, and Sam the Warden mistakes him for a prisoner trying to escape. The cartoon, Big House Bunny, ends with Sam releasing Bugs because he's causing too much trouble in the prison, which then gets Sam in prison too. Oh boy. Number 23, The Red Baron. A parody of The Red Baron, Dumb Patrol begins with Baron Sam von Spam looking for a fight. He finds one in a classic World War I aircraft battle with Bugs Bunny. This is one of Sam's final cartoons. Number 24, Banker Scrooge. Oh, yes, this is from, well, we'll see in a moment here. Perhaps Sam's most important role was playing the miserly villain Ebenezer Scrooge in Bugs Bunny's Christmas Carol. Watch Bugs Bunny and Friends on MeTV Tunes. Yeah. On MeTV Tunes. Weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central, 6 a.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific. Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific, or Saturdays rather, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific, and Sundays at 12 noon, 11 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Pacific. Alrighty then, so there we go with that. So we're done with our articles for the night. And we're so what we'll do now is we'll get ready to get into the wrestling wrap up. We have a few things to go over. As of course we've got TNA Impact and Honor Club to go over from last night. We have to look ahead to SmackDown tonight as well as the Collision tomorrow. As of course WWE is building towards next week's Backlash. So I'll try to remember to mention the matches we do know of so far for Backlash for next week. Let me just go grab that piece of information, then I will. All right, so on last night's Thursday night SmackDown, or Thursday night Impact rather, coming from the Upstate Medical University Arena in at the On Center War Memorial in Syracuse, New York, with Tom Hannafan and Matthew Rainwell on commentary, airing on AMC. The show opened up with a match between Jeff Hardy and Vincent, which Jeff Hardy defeated Vincent in just under 8 minutes. With, of course, with getting the return. And even though Matt Hardy and Dutch had been banned from ringside, we did eventually see the return of broken Matt Hardy, distracted, coming in and out, in the darkness, as the lights went out. Then you got broken Matt Hardy in there. Then lights go out again, and Vincent's on the ground ready for Jeff to hit the swanton. So there you go. Then also Mustafa Ali would defend and successfully retain the international title over Adam Brooks in just under 6 minutes. In 6-woman tag action, Ali, Rosemary, and Mara Sade defeated the Diamond Collective of Tessa Blanchard, Victoria Crawford, and Myla Moore in 6-man tag. Mr. Elegance defeated the Hometown Man in 6 minutes 3 seconds. And in a walk with Elijah guitar strap match, so the walk with Elijah guitar strap match is a strap match. It's one that's got a little bit modification of the rules. So normally most strap matches are both in the ring, you get tied up together by a strap. And then the idea is to incapacitate your opponent enough to where you can basically touch all 4 corners without interruption. Well, in this case, in the Walk with Elijah guitar strap match, the match actually started backstage where they were linked up together backstage, And the idea was to walk out to the ring and then start the match. Of course, no DQs, no countouts. Match must end in the ring, though, as the same goal applies as touching the four corners without interruption. Elijah would defeat Frankie Kazarian in that match, 1633, and both Santino Marella and Indy Hartwell, who were both suspended, made their televised returns, much to Dario Ray's chagrin, as Indy Hartwell was able to provide testimony as a star witness that basically what Santino was being accused of was not the case. So that's all for Impact. So now let's take a look at what happened on last night's Ring of Honor Club as well, coming from the WJCT Arena, WJCT Studios in Jacksonville, Florida, with Caprice Coleman and Ian Riccaboni on commentary. Konosuke Takeshita defeated Matt Menard in a singles match in 6 minutes 43 seconds. Continues to build momentum towards his upcoming international title match against Kazuchika Okada at Double or Nothing. Shane Taylor of the Shane Taylor Promotions defeats debuting Mance Warner, coming off of his release from TNA. Story Denali of the Premier Athlete with Mark Sterling in her corner defeats JC Love rather, 2 minutes 27 seconds. Leo Rush defeats the returning Allen Angels in just over 9.5 minutes. In a proving ground match for a shot at the women's pure title, Deonna Purrazzo was able to stave off the challenge of Remy Reed in 3 minutes 7 seconds. Top Flight of Dante and Darius Martin with Christopher Daniels in their corner defeat the team of Gringo Loco and Soleil. Inspiration of Cassie Lee and Jessie McKay rather, defeat the team of Becca and Maddie Max. Viva Von defeated Sarah Leone in 4 minutes 28 seconds in another women's match. The team calling themselves now Paid in Full with Big Bill and Brian Keith defeated the team of Nick Halen and Vin Parker. Christian XO with the infantry in her corner defeated Frankie B in 2 minutes 19 seconds. Main event saw the Don Callis family members of Mark Davis and RPG Vice of Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero defeat the team representing Mighty Don't Kneel of Badu Tito, Shane Haste, and Mikey Nichols. So that's all that happened on last night's Ring of Honor. So now, looking ahead to tonight's of course, to tonight's SmackDown as we get ready to do that match, or get ready for tonight's show, as we're of course a little over a week away from next week's Backlash pay-per-view. SmackDown coming from the the Box Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma, airing on tonight's USA Network, and apparently confirmed for tonight's show, Ricky Saints will be making an appearance. I don't know if that means he's being called up or what, but I guess we'll wait and see. Now, moving ahead, of course, to looking ahead to tomorrow night's Collision pay-per-view. Let's see what's going down there. Or I'm sorry, Collision show. as I get that information. So tomorrow's collision, which will be coming from the Peoria Civic Center in Peoria, Illinois, airing on TNT, already signed for the night. A night set to open up with a 10-man tag match in which Top Flight of Darius and Dante Martin will be teaming with the Rascals of Myron Reed, Zachary Wentz, and Desmond Xavier to take on the Death Riders of Claudio Castagnoli, John Moxley, and Pac. Of course, Moxley, the Continental Champion right now, AEW Continental Champion right now, and the Dogs duo of Clark Connors and David Finlay. Kevin Knight is set to defend the TNT title against Hook, as Kevin Knight, of course, has had a busy past couple of weeks. Defended. Is in the midst of a pretty good stretch here. Defended a TNT match successfully over MJF past Wednesday. Set to defend the title against Hook tonight, and then we'll be facing Darby Allin for the AEW World title this Wednesday. Jack Perry defends the AEW National title against Máscara Dorada. In tag team action, the Bang Bang Gang duo of Ace Austin and Juice Robinson take on the Death Riders duo of Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta. And then the main event set for tonight is Willow Nightingale defending the TBS title against Anna Jay. Anna Jay making her first in-ring appearance in quite some time. So we'll see how that all goes. So that's all we got for the wrestling wrap-up then. So with that being said, of course, with today being Friday, May the 1st, 2026, let's go ahead and take a look back at this day in Nietzsche history. History! The first thing I would, of course, like to do is wish a happy 80th birthday to voice actress, Nellie Bellflower. Now, name probably doesn't sound familiar to a lot of you, but for those who grew up back in the early 80s, you probably remembered hearing her voice on Thunder the Barbarian as Princess Ariel. She also, of course, provided the voice of Danielle in The Flight of Dragons and Lady Boreal in Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July. So happy 80th birthday to American actress Nellie Bellflower, Princess Ariel from Thunder the Barbarian. Now getting ready to move on to next piece of Nietzsche history as soon as I, of course, find the cursor to help me navigate this stuff. So now we will move on to the year, I believe it's 1996 now? Yeah, 1990. So moving ahead to 30 years ago today, 1996. On this date in the year 1996, the 10th issue of Gen 13 from Image Comics Wildstorm imprint went on sale on this date back in 1996, so 30 years ago today. The 10th issue of Gen 13 from Image's Wildstorm imprint went on sale on this date back in 1996. So for $250, 32 pages, the story was titled Rumble in Gamora, as written by Brandon Choi, penciled by Jeff Scott Campbell, with Alex Gamer doing the inking, Bill O'Neill doing the lettering, and Joe Chiodo doing the coloring. And finally, we will move ahead to the year 2011. As on this date in the year 2011, and I pull that up, of course. On this date in the year 2011, WWE held its Extreme Rules pay-per-view from the St. Pete Times Forum in Tampa, Florida. It was the third annual Extreme Rules event. So the night saw in the main event John Cena defeat The Miz and John Morrison in a steel cage triple threat match to become the new WWE champion. Big Show and Kane retained the WWE Tag Team Championships in a lumberjack match over Wade Barrett, Ezekiel Jackson. In a match for the vacant World Heavyweight title, in a ladder match for the vacant World Heavyweight title, Christian defeated Alberto Del Rio. In a loser leaves WWE match, Layla defeated Michelle McCool in no disqualifications loser leaves WWE match. All these matches, from what I understand, were gimmick matches, basically, so specialty matches. Rey Mysterio defeated Cody Rhodes in a Falls Count Anywhere match. In a country whipping tag team match, Michael Cole and Jack Swagger defeated Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler. In a tables match for the WWE United States Championship, Kofi Kingston defeated Sheamus. Show opened up with a last man standing match in which Randy Orton defeated CM Punk. Alrighty, so that's all I got for you for tonight. Hey, Netsuri, a little late there, my friend, but I'm glad you at least showed up. Of course, as always, if you missed anything, you can always go back and watch the show again. So thanks for at least popping in. If you can remember to like and share the stream, so we get some more people to engage, more friendly people to engage, that'd be appreciated. So, anyways, with that being said, I thank everybody for being here. Of course, we will be back here on Sunday as I'll be joined by Apex from Apex Comics. We'll be taking another trip down Comics History Lane. We'll be, of course, continuing our trek down back to August of 1940. It will be books that went on sale there. This week we'll be focusing in on Quality Comics, featuring stories from Doll Man, Merlin the Magician, Neon the Unknown, Ray, and Red Torpedo. So with all that being said, I thank everybody for being here tonight, and I hope to see everybody back here on Sunday. Bye.